Are you tired spending hours making tutus? What if I told you there is a faster, easier way? Woo! In this video, I'm going to show you a game-changing product that will help you save time and create beautiful tutus without the hassle. So let's get into it. The product I'm referring to are blank pre-made tutus. It comes in a bag. It's already made. Take it out of the bag. And this is an extra small. And I know it looks as if like, oh my gosh, this is really tiny. Is it full enough? That's an extra small. This is an extra small. Exact same color, exact same tutu, just it have ribbons added to it. All right, and I have a bunch behind me. This is also a extra small with ribbons. You see how full it is? All these tutus behind me are made from blank pre-made tutus. So let's look at the pros and cons of using a blank pre-made tutu as opposed to making your tutu from scratch. The first reason is time. And I think that's the biggest reason is time. I might love tutus, but I don't love the time that it would take to make a tutu if it's taken me an hour and a half. I love decorating my tutus. Everything before that is work. So if I'm making my tutu from scratch, I'm working for an hour and 15 minutes or an hour. I'm working. When I get to the point where I am decorating my tutus, yes, I'm no longer working. I'm having fun. So my clock goes off. I'm in a happy place because I'm decorating my tutus. I'm watching my tutu come alive with the different ribbon colors that I'm adding, the different decoration that I'm adding. That's the part of tutu making that I love. So I want to spend more time there as opposed to measuring out my fabric. You know, the yardage, actually, I'm measuring out the yardage and I have to fold it back up, then cut my length. You all know what I'm going with this, right? I don't really love doing that. I love decorating my tutu. So the most important part of it is time saving time. So the second reason is less skill is required. So it's great for beginners, moms, DIY, and especially businesses. If you have a tutu business, you don't want to spend a bunch of time making or creating your tutus, right? So it's less, you don't need any skill. So if you're a beginner, this is going to be super, super easy for you to use. It's just a matter of knowing how to do a straight stitch and stitching on your ribbons. That's it. Third reason is consistency in the quality. So every tutu you make is going to come out looking just as full, just as fluffy. So basically the same. But I don't want to say the same because you will be using different ribbons, right? But basically the structure, because the structure is already there. So it's going to come out looking fluffy and full, all of them. Cost-wise, especially in labor. Right? So when you add in your labor cost, and I hope you all are paying yourself when you make your tutu. If we have in a tutu business, the cost and time-wise, when you add it up, if you spend an hour and a half, that's a lot of time. The fifth reason you want to use a blank pre-made tutu is it's ready to go. It's ready to use. So as if you have a tutu business, as your order comes in, you just take your tutu out your bag and start decorating. It's ready to go. Okay. Now the con, because I have to tell you all the con, if it is a con, I don't think it's a con, but is a learning curve, meaning it's not a steep curve, but you just have to get familiar with sewing on your ribbons this way. Normally, I know when I started making tutus, I would sew on my ribbon flat, but when you sew it on like this, you feel like it's circular. Right? But it's not. It's really not circular because once it's on your machine table, it becomes flat again because you have all this yardage. But you still have to get used to using this structure or sewing on your ribbon this way. So if you're a mom and you want to make your daughter your tutu, a tutu yourself, perfect. If you are a tutu business, and in our business, any business for that matter, time is our biggest asset. even outside of business, time is our biggest asset, right? So we want to make sure that we are saving on our time. All right. We're not spending an hour and a half making a tutu skirt when we could pull it out of a bag. The benefits of using the blank pre-made tutu, the biggest one is time saving. It saves time. It saves time. It saves time. Okay, that's the biggest one. It saves time. No skill is required. It's ready to use out of the bag. You have no mess to clean up. Zero, because you're just taking it out of the bag. We're not cutting anything. We don't have to measure anything. Okay. You need to know how to sew a straight stitch. But that's it. All right. So let's hop on our computer and pull up the crafting calculator so we can compare what the numbers would look like if we made our tutus from scratch or if we use the blank pre-made tutus, because we know numbers don't lie. I'm using our crafting calculator to calculate the cost of if you make your tutus from scratch or if you use our blank pre-made tutus. So here I have the tulle fabric. Let's go ahead and calculate the first one as if we purchase our fabric from in the store, like Hobby Lobby or Joann's or in store. So let's say I pay 79 cents a yard. It would help if I put it in the right place. 79 cents a yard, and I'm making a 10-yard tutu. If I paid 50 cents for my ribbons, I would need 10 yards. I'm making 2 layers of ribbons. So I'll do the same for the next one. We just want to keep it simple for now. Miscellaneous would cover our thread, elastic, and electricity. All right, so let's say that is 50 cents. I will put 1 here because I only need 1 of those. And that would take care of our cost of goods, which is the material that we need to make our blind tutu. Well, our tutu from scratch, I'm sorry. Now we'll come over here and we will say that we're going to pay ourselves $20 an hour, and it's taking us 90 minutes or hour and a half to make our tutu skirt. So this is our cost of goods. I'm going to scroll down to the bottom. And here you can see your profit. You haven't really made a profit yet, but this is your break-even cost. Now we're just going to times this times 2. All right. And now it's going to populate everything nicely for you. We're really just paying attention to these two and also this, because we need to see what our profit is. So our profit is $18.40. Our break-even cost is $48.40. And our customer cost is $66.80. All right. So you can take notes of those figures. And if I scroll back up, I'm only going to change the price of this right here. Because again, we're making our tutu from scratch. These 2 examples, we're making the tutus from scratch. The only difference is how much we pay for the tulle fabric. So in this case, if I'm purchasing my tulle fabric online, I'm going to come right here. And if I'm paying $10.99 a yard, and the bolt is 40 yard, the 40-yard bolts, how much am I paying per yard? Around 28 cents. Okay, so that's what I'm going to put here. I'm going to round it up to 28 cents. Everything else stays the same. Now, you see that my cost of goods have reduced because I'm paying less for my tool. I kept everything else the same. My time to make the tutu from scratch is the same. I'm paying myself the same. When we come down here, we see that our profit is $13.30. Our break even have reduced to $43.30, and our customer costs also have reduced to $56.60. So break even calculates the cost of your goods and your labor. All right, so we're paying attention to our break even cost. And in this example of purchasing our tool online, our break even is $43.30. All right, so now let's look at if this was a blank tutu. BLANK. And our blank tutu is 1009, and we only need 1. Now, also your miscellaneous is going to change because you are not using as much thread or electricity, and you're not using any elastic because the tutu comes finished. So we're gonna break that down to about 5 cents. Also, the next thing that we're gonna change is our time. We're no longer taking 90 minutes to make a tutu. Now we should be about 20 minutes. If we look down at the bottom, our cost of goods is 2014. All right, our cost of goods is 2014, which is the highest out of all three. But look at your labor cost. It is the lowest out of all three. And the most important thing to look at is your break even. The cost of goods here is the highest. If I look at my profit, I'm making more. If I use a blank pre-made tutu, my break even, meaning my labor costs and my cost of goods, is almost half the cost of all of the three. But look at my customer price. So now, once you finish your calculations, that's when you look at what everybody else is selling their tutu for to make sure that you are, within an average range of everyone else. And let's say for this size 2T tutu, everyone else is selling it for $55. I'm $10 under. So I am going to tweak this number somewhat, let's say to 2.4 to make it $55, right? Boom. Look at my profit. My break even stays the same, but now I'm making more money. Why? Because I am taking less time to produce my tutu skirt, my profit margin is going to be higher. My break even is going to stay the same, but my profit is going to be more. If everyone else is selling their tutu skirt for $65, I just readjust this to calculate, and let's say 2.8. just to get it as close to as we can, about 2.9, $65. My profit has gone up. My break even stays the same. My time that it's taken me to make this tutu stays the same, but I'm making more money. So the less time you take to make a high quality item is the greater your margin. The greater your profit, the more money you would take. So guys, take the time to check out our blank pre-made tutu. I'm telling you, it's a game changer, and it will change the way you make your tutus, but also the profit that you make in your tutu or applique business. If you're new to the channel, go ahead and subscribe, turn on your notification bell, because I will be dropping a whole lot more videos to help you improve your tutu business, or if you make girl applique shirts or kids applique shirts in general. I will be doing a lot more videos to do it embroidery, printing, designing, and all that different stuff. So like always, I'll see you in the next one.